there! So, regular viewers of the channel will, well, Veronica Explains, because this is Veronica Explains Nothing. Folks who've seen my stuff on the internet will know that I'm a big fan of the Commodore 64. And if you've heard the music in my main channel theme, you've heard the SID chip, the sound chip inside this thing that I regularly use as my kind of synth fun excitement time in music. Well, I have plans for this thing. I plan to, at some point, do a dual SID system inside here so that I can get stereo sound and some extra channels so that I can do a little bit more tracker music on here because I'm having a lot of fun with that. But because I'm going to be in and out of it a bunch, I really don't want to mess with the original Breadbin case. I'm not particularly interested in drilling holes in the side of it or routing stuff through. So a few months back, I backed a project that, well, let me just show you. So I bought this Breadbin case off of the Indiegogo, or the crowdfund. I think it was Indiegogo. It says Indiegogo. But one of the things that makes this different is that it has brass screw inserts, which for me is kind of helpful because when you're frequently taking apart one of these, you know, the plastics are getting brittle and they start to break. And I really don't like the idea of, you know, risking damage to these brittle plastics for all of the goofy futzing that I have to do. So something like this is really just perfect. Ooh. Okay, so you can see all the stuff. I like this box. I could end up using this for storage in a bit. Shoving things off to the side. Another legend will return in 2025. Ooh, I don't know what that is, but it looks exciting. And that to me looks like an 8-bit-do controller connection. So I wonder if this is going to be a wireless joystick or something. I bought this with my own money. This wasn't something that was sponsored or anything, although they did send 2, and I only ordered 1, so I'm not totally sure what the reasoning was behind that. Hopefully they weren't just sending it to me because I'm a YouTuber. If you did, thank you. But like maybe I accidentally ordered 2. I really honestly don't know. This is cool. I ordered a metal controller bracket and like it looks stunning. I hope this is coming through in the camera because this looks really neat. I also ordered a replacement LED, not necessarily because mine is bad, but I actually have a broken LED on my VIC-20 that I've been meaning to fix, and maybe this will help. I'm not totally sure what this is. I'm just gonna tear into it here. Oh, that's another LED. Okay. And then we got badges, which are nice. That's really cool. I like that. It's neat that they included this. Like, I think it looks cool. If I were building a new Commodore 64 and not just repurposing an existing one, I might go for that. But as it is, hopefully, if I can't get this off, I'm going to try to source an original badge just because, you know, it's what I know. It's what I like. And then we have the case. I can get it out. It's a nice tight fit. They packed it well. Look at that. Get it out of the plastic. Ooh. It's so pretty. It's a great looking purple. It looks fantastic. About the only thing that I think would have been better with this particular color is if it were translucent, but like you can't win them all. A purple Commodore 64 that looks like the purple Nintendo 64. That would have been zany. Like we can't have that. So yeah, you can see these threaded inserts, which is really nice. That's not going to break very easily. And I'm excited to get this going. Okay. I can feel how brittle this is. I really don't want to break it. See those? These are brittle. I really don't want to break those, and that's part of the reason why I'm doing this. You know, it's 40 years old, and I really don't want to do any damage to it. So it's about being gentle. That was less than gentle. Disconnecting the LED. And then the keyboard. I really love the Commodore 64. It is so fun to play older games, and, you know, plenty of people are making new games for this, which is great. But the plastics on this are just becoming so brittle. I don't know if I've mentioned that. And yes, in the interest of transparency, there's a wrist strap under these. I don't mess around when it comes to static. One mod I'm going to make in the near future, and I'll probably do a video about it, is replacing the RF modulator with one of the new ones from the Retro channel. But it's actually not one of the new ones. I actually bought one of the old ones, and I have a kit of them. So I'll probably do that in a future video as an upgrade, as well as the Luma Code mod by Copper Dragon. So that way I can get clean video with RGB to HDMI, just to make it a little bit easier to show people what I'm doing. You know, just to illustrate the point is, like, take a look at this standoff, and you can see it's not a nice standoff. You know, we're screwing through plastic every time we work on one of these. And, you know, I just really hate the idea of breaking this. It's not something that I want to do. Whereas the new case, the purple case, has these nice brass threaded standoffs. And to me, that's the big reason why this makes just a ton of sense. And now when I'm manipulating this, if I decide to do something like route a cable through, or, you know, make some change on the front end, I'm not necessarily making that change to real plastics or original plastics. I'm making that change to something that, you know, I don't mind changing. And I think that that's good. And here's what the original control plate looks like with the purple, which, you know, is nice. But I think that's going to look a lot slicker. To get the old control plate out, there's a screw right here that's going to need to go. Oh. And one up here. There we go. And just slide that new plate right into where the old plate was. I'm going to need to figure out which screw is which. Might be easier for me to just reuse the old screws, which luckily I still have them. And look at that. It looks fantastic. So now it's just an easy matter of popping it in and seeing how I like it. It really would have been nice if the screws had been labeled. Well, I didn't see anything on their website about what screws to use, but I tried a few different things, and I found that this screw type was the one that seemed to work to hold the board in, not this screw type, and not these super long ones. I'm not sure if that information is going to help anybody, but now you have it. God, these inserts feel nice. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'll mention it again just in case. This was not sponsored. I paid for this with my own money, but they did send a second one. I think it's a clear one, so I haven't looked at it yet. And I don't know if I bought that or not. That's one of those weird mysteries here. So if you're from the project and can illuminate that for me, go ahead and let me know. And now, it's in my hair. And now I have to get the keyboard out of here, and it's held in by lots of screws, so here I go. I'm pretty sure the longer screws that came with this kit are for these inserts. And I will be carefully labeling all of these screws so that someday in the future, if the need should arise, I can reverse all of this. I missed this one that was hidden under the cable. From my perspective, I couldn't see it. Okay, so here's the part where I'm cleaning. Then I just have to fit the top in, and like you can see how great that's gonna look. Like you get the idea. This is awesome. I did go ahead and order a new case badge though, just because, you know, I just wanted to say Commodore. All right. Should be pretty easy, just the inverse of what I did. I love having threaded inserts for this. Oh my goodness. It's such a small thing, it sounds like, oh, there's brass inserts in here. But, you know, when you go into one of these a lot, that can make a difference between just breaking something that's 40 years old and brittle and, you know, having a good time with it. Like actually enjoying working on it. And that's what I'm hoping to get here. You know, I don't think I mentioned the whole YouTube mid-roll thing. Now seems like as good of a time as any to bring it up. Apparently, YouTube is inserting mid-rolls into the videos on this second channel because the second channel is not yet monetized. And that's kind of a load of crap, if you ask me. I'm kind of the opinion that YouTube should not be adding mid-rolls if we as the creators don't have the ability to control whether those mid-rolls are inserted or not. So hopefully sometime relatively shortly, YouTube will deem me worthy of monetization, and on this channel anyway, and then hopefully I can just turn that off because it's kind of annoying and I don't like them. Now I got to think about that LED. And so for this, I ordered a couple because I mentioned earlier my VIC-20 is missing an LED. So yeah, I figured I would just get the housing for it and do the whole thing. But this one's a green LED. I should probably make that a little bit easier to see. I think the green LED is just going to look fantastic with the purple case. So that's what I'm going to do. The badge feels really good. It says RF64 instead of Commodore 64. I really want the badge to say Commodore. It's probably a licensing thing or something like that. So that's how it'll look. I love that. I think it looks really good. There's no instructions, but I'm pretty sure you just slide this through and stick this in. And then this just poke through, but I suppose I'll want to take the sticky stuff off. Should have done this first. Ooh. 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 Oh, it looks so good. I just noticed that they added labels for all the different ports and signals and stuff on here. That is a very nice touch. Making this up, I think I shoved this part in. And then stick this in here. And then feed the grommet thing through it. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's in there right. Like, I just pushed it right out. Maybe I just had to push harder? No, because it still wants to come right out. Well, other than using like a bit of hot glue or something, I'm not sure how that's supposed to sit in there. It just kind of flops right out. So, you know, if you happen to know, leave me a comment. For now, I think I'm just going to stick some Super 33 on here just to hold it up. And I mean, hey, at least this case is going to be easier to get in and out of. Okay, it's not seated yet. There we go. Okay, I'm used to babying this, and you just really don't have to baby this one. There it is. Okay, let's see if it's working. Oh, this coloring makes it look blue. It's not blue. Ooh! It's working! So I just got my Messiah cartridge out, which will let me play this like a synth. Power's off. All right. So this is the Messiah cartridge, which emulates like a basic mono synth, and it's way super cool. I like that patch. Oh, that's a fun one too. Well, I think it's safe to say that I'm smitten. This thing looks really cool. I love the green LED. I love the purple. It's obviously not a stock Commodore 64 anymore. So when I inevitably, I should probably screw the case back in here. I don't know if you can see it. There's just the slightest little imperfections. Like, I mean, I don't know if you can see it. There's just the slightest amount of like marbling, you know, like just, it shows up in camera worse than it actually there. That's a better view. You can see this in camera a lot worse than it looks in person. And I can't say I'm terribly concerned about it because, like, I know it's challenging to manufacture plastics and everything. Of course, I know that the color's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and yeah, that's fine. Everybody can have their own thing. And if I end up drilling holes in this one for synthesizer needs, I'm not going to feel bad about damaging something that at this point is like a collector's item, which still seems weird to me. Does it seem weird to you that Commodore 64s are collector's items now? Like, I remember when you couldn't give these away. But whatever, things change.